My name is Michelle. I've been married for 8 years, and I have a 7-year-old daughter, Anna. Since she was young, Anna has said some peculiar things. She would talk to someone when no one was there, or suddenly start crying, claiming there was a stranger in the house. I believed this child had some kind of special power. But my husband, Kyle, seemed to have a strong aversion to Anna's behavior. When Anna suddenly said, "The lady next door is gonna pass away," and the next day there was a funeral, Kyle would say, "Why is she so creepy?" Kyle has been having an affair for 4 years. Of course, I knew about it, and at one point, I even considered divorce. But with a child in the picture, walking away from a marriage isn't that simple. No matter what kind of father he is, he's still the only dad Anna has, and I can't just take that away from her. Then, one day, Kyle said he was going on a business trip. His clothes and belongings did seem to suggest a business trip. But watching his excitement made me think it was not just about business. This man, using the business trip as a cover to go on a vacation with his mistress. Honestly, I couldn't care less at this point whether he goes on a trip with his mistress or not. In my eyes, that's all he is worth now. But this time was different. "Dad, meeting with that woman, that place is gonna be hell," Anna said out of the blue, as Kyle was preparing to leave. "What the heck? Why do you always say such creepy stuff? Hey! You're supposed to be at home, being properly educated. Isn't this a failure in parenting?" "I'm sorry. But she sees something." "So what if she sees something? How am I supposed to feel about leaving for a trip when she says stuff like this?" "Then you shouldn't meet the woman, should you?" "What? What I do is my business. You can't survive without me, so don't say anything unnecessary." "So be it. Do whatever you want. I'm sorry. Have a safe trip." Anna says it's going to be a disaster, but with a husband like that, there's nothing I can do to stop him. "Why does she have to be so disturbingly creepy?" Kyle glared at Anna and left the house. He's her father, but does he really need to go that far? Why does she have to be hated so much? Despite him being the worst, doing what he's doing. But I somewhat understand why Kyle reacts that way. It's because Anna accidentally exposed his affair. Suddenly, little Anna said to me, "Mom, Dad has another woman." "What? What are you talking about?" "He's really close with this woman." I was shocked to hear such a word from a 3-year-old's mouth. How could she know? But when I asked her about it a while later, she didn't remember anything. Then, on a day when Kyle came home late again, Anna said, "Mom, Dad won't come home tonight. Let's go to sleep." "Why?" "He's at work, and if he comes home and there's no dinner." "He won't come home. Because he's with another woman." Having been told this twice made me suspicious, so I managed to check Kyle's phone. There, I found unbelievable exchanges between him and another woman. When I confronted him with the photos, at first, he denied everything, but eventually, he admitted and asked how I found out. Anna told me. "Seriously? She's really creepy." "Well, okay, I admit I'm having an affair. But so what? Without me, you and Anna wouldn't be able to survive, let alone live a decent life. Don't you dare act all high and mighty with me. That's outrageous. You're having an affair and you say that? Then do you want a divorce? I don't mind. I can make it on my own. But what about you? Can you?" Kyle said, with a tone of triumph. I was the one betrayed, we were the victims, yet I couldn't muster a response. Since that day, my heart has grown cold, enduring for the sake of my child. And since that day, my husband stopped trying to show any affection towards our daughter. This gave him the freedom to date openly and spend nights out. Even on our daughter Anna's birthday, he wouldn't be home. "Honey, today is Anna's birthday. Come home early, okay?" "Why?" "Because it's Anna's birthday. Don't you think we should celebrate it as a family?" "Why should I make time for that monster? I'll do what I want. You can celebrate her birthday by yourself." That's terrible. She's our only daughter, isn't she? I'm providing for her, aren't I? Isn't that enough? From then on, Anna's birthdays were without her father. And if that's how it is on a birthday, our anniversary was even more pitiful. As if the very notion of it didn't exist in his mind. Then came Christmas. While other families enjoyed their time together, our home never experienced such joy. I wonder, is it really better not to divorce him? I've been enduring for my daughter's sake, but is it truly for her? Or is it just my ego? Without even being able to take her on a family trip, is such a father really necessary? No matter how much I ponder, no answer comes, and 3 days pass. I didn't want to show my daughter a sad face, so I tried to be as cheerful as possible. That's when my husband called. After everything, I couldn't bring myself to answer his call willingly. I imagined I would only hear his satisfied voice, still basking in the enjoyment of his time. It seemed better not to answer. But the phone kept ringing insistently, grating on my nerves. "Mom, the phone's ringing." My daughter pointed at the smartphone. "It's Dad." "I see." I couldn't not answer it after my daughter told me so. I sighed softly and picked up the phone. "Hello." "Oh, you answered. What were you doing?" His voice sounded unusually irritated and anxious. "When I'm in trouble, you should answer the phone right away." "I don't know anything about your troubles." "What's wrong?" "Listen, I'm in a huge mess. Help me out." The husband, supposed to be with his mistress, was in trouble. What could possibly be the trouble? I sighed again. My daughter asked, "Where is Dad, I wonder?" She must have heard his voice from the phone. "Where are you? Still on your business trip?" "No, not that. I came back from the trip and I'm at her place." So it was a trip under the guise of business after all. "And you're in such a happy situation, so what's the trouble?" "Stop with the sarcasm." He knows it's sarcasm, at least. "All right, I'll listen properly. But what do you need help with?" "I found out she has a huge debt." "Why is that a problem?" Her debt should have nothing to do with him. Yet, why is he panicking? "She used my name as a guarantor for the debt. I just found out." "Oh, why would she do that?" "This is no laughing matter. My name was used." You have a high income, right? There's no need to panic or be scared. Plus, it's your beloved's debt. Just pay it off for her. "That's not funny. Do you think I have that kind of money? Plus, being made a guarantor without my consent, I've never heard of such a thing." Then, you should talk to her about it, right? "Why are you telling me?" "It's none of my business." "Well, that's true, but..." "And you're the guarantor because you signed, right?" "I don't remember signing anything." "If you don't remember signing, how did it happen? You can't be made a guarantor without signing." "That's what's so strange." "Don't you have any idea how it could have happened?" "An idea?" He went silent, apparently having an epiphany. "That's it. That time." "Which time?" "About half a year ago, we were drinking together. I was really drunk and getting sleepy, but she pulled out some documents and asked me to sign." "Yes, that must have been it. Those were the guarantor documents." "You should have checked before signing anything." "I didn't check because I was too sleepy." "So, you trusted her word and thought it would be okay?" "Yeah, that's about it." "Well, then that's fine, isn't it? You trusted her and signed to become her guarantor. The problem should be solved." "How is it solved? Why are you so calm when I'm in trouble?" "Well, it's not my problem. It's between you and your mistress, isn't it? If it were our family's problem, I'd be panicking, but it has nothing to do with our family. It has everything to do with us." "Why?" "It might be your problem, but it has nothing to do with me." "Because I'm in trouble. I'm your husband. Why aren't you panicking when your husband is in trouble?" "Why?" "Well, why indeed? I'm asking you for help." "But how can I help you when you're at her place?" "If you need help, ask her." "That's why I'm telling you." He almost screams it like a cry of despair. But the more he panics, the calmer I feel, struggling to suppress my laughter. Let's solve this one step at a time, then. Where is she now? That's the thing, she's not here. Not there? But you two went on a trip together, right? Yes, that's right. We went on a trip together. Then last night, we came back. Last night? So, you came back but didn't return here, you went to her place? Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with that? It's like that's your real home. If I don't feel like coming back here, what can I do? It's more fun to be with her. Then he shouldn't be calling me. I see. So, you came back with her, and then what happened? We got back, and she said she'd go buy some beer. I was planning to wait for her, but I was tired and fell asleep. I see. You've had a hard time. But then, she didn't come back even in the morning. I was worried she might have had an accident or something. Is he calling his wife to brag about his affairs? I sigh again. You should go look for her. No, it's not like that. I tried calling her, texting her, but she didn't come back. I was wondering where she could have gone when the doorbell rang. It was a debt collector. Finally, getting to the main point. I was scared of that debt collector. He even changed his tone of voice, explaining clearly and in detail. Who are you? That's my line. I'm Nathan. I'm Kyle. Oh, Kyle? Which Kyle? Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith? The man smirked. So, you're that woman's guy. Yeah, that's right. My husband declared proudly, not expecting the debt collector, asserting he was her boyfriend. Then the man smirked again. All right then. Where's the woman? Why should I tell you that? True, but we've been trying to contact her for a long time. No response at all. With that much debt, I guess she'd want to run away, right? You'd think so too, wouldn't you? What? What are you talking about? Then the man showed a document labeled IOU, showing it to my husband. This woman owes us $60,000. But she's not paying it all. $60,000, huh? Oh, judging by your reaction, you can pay that amount? Just like a guarantor. Guarantor? Yeah, look here, he said, pointing to the guarantor section of the document. My husband's name was clearly written there. Not as a cosigner, but as a guarantor. What is this? We can't get in touch with that woman. So, you have to pay for it. Right, Mr. Sato? It's not a big deal for you, right? Then, with the ballooned interest, it's $160,000. Let's settle this quickly. That much? $160,000? It's not $200,000, it's not a big deal, right? Well, $160,000 is impossible. You just said that. $60,000 would be manageable, but $160,000 is. I don't care. If you can't pay, we'll have to make you swim in the Hudson River. If you don't like that, figure something out by tomorrow. We know your address and your workplace. There's no escaping. I'll consult with her. It'd be nice if that woman comes back. But she probably won't. And then he left, just like that. He's got unnecessary acting skills, doesn't he? Just pay and it'll all be over. So help me out. It's $60,000, right? You have that kind of money. It's in your account, so just withdraw it from there. I can't withdraw from your account anyway. That's what I'm saying. Weren't you listening? The $60,000 was the borrowed amount, and now with interest, it's ballooned to $160,000. Please don't yell. I wasn't listening on purpose, can't help it. If I could pay for it myself, I wouldn't be contacting you. Why can't you understand that? Is that so? My husband yelled further, berating me as if fighting off fear. Then my daughter's words came back to me. Meeting her is hell. Indeed, it seems like the beginning of hell. You have some money, right? Send it over. I only get living expenses from you. How do you expect me to have savings? I barely get enough to get by, let alone save anything. At the very least, a housewife manages to save from whatever she gets. That's impossible. No matter how much I manage, unexpected expenses always arise. Don't be mean, just help me out. I'm not trying to be mean. If I had it, I would help, but there's nothing I can do. Don't say that. There's nothing I can do about something I don't have. No, it can't be that you have nothing. You got a large amount of gift money when we got married, right? And when Anna was born, too. Together, that should be hundreds of thousands of dollars. That money is for our child. For emergencies concerning her. I can't use it on you. Then at least use the wedding gift money. That's the same. My parents gave it to me in case something unavoidable came up. This is that unavoidable situation. No, it's not. It might be unavoidable for you, but for me, it's nothing. After all, you're the one who became a guarantor, not me. What are you saying? If I were gone, you'd be in trouble. You can't live on your own. So, transfer that money to my account. Then I can withdraw it here. That would solve everything. You wouldn't want me sinking in the Hudson River, would you? I wouldn't be bothered, though. What? You'd be the one in trouble, right? You can figure something out. What are you saying? A wife's duty is to help her husband. Indeed, that's true. A wife's duty is to help her husband when he's in trouble. I thought so too. But now, I'm doubting if he really is my husband. He goes to his mistress, panics when a debt collector comes, and now he's trying to dip into our daughter's savings. I can't see such a man as my husband. I looked down at my daughter. She's been listening all this while. I wonder what she's thinking. Then, as if she read my mind, my daughter spoke up. Mom, you should get a divorce. She said it with a smile on her face. If it continues like this, you'll fall into hell too. Dad's selfish, and there's no need for you to suffer anymore. My daughter spoke like an adult. Won't you be lonely if Mom and Dad separate? Dad only makes Mom cry. I know it. That's why we don't need a dad like that, she said, nodding firmly. Seeing that, I made up my mind to divorce. Let's get a divorce. What? That's right, let's get a divorce. What are you saying? It's fine. As long as I have Anna, I can manage. This isn't the time to say that. Now is exactly the time to say it. I've had enough of you. What do you mean you've had enough? We shouldn't be talking about this now. Maybe not for you, but for me, now is the right time. I've endured your tyranny for our child's sake until now. But now, Anna said it's better to divorce. That's why I can decide on divorce. You're deciding to divorce based on a child's words? Even though she's a child, Anna has been watching us closely. She knew I've been crying because of you, though you never realized. I'm not going to divorce. I won't allow a divorce. Why? You've been having an affair and doing whatever you want. It wouldn't matter if we split up, right? Besides, if we divorce, you won't have to provide for us anymore. With you, it's marriage only in name, and you don't even seem to love your child, so divorcing shouldn't be a problem. No, it's not like that. I have a reputation to maintain. My company doesn't approve of divorce. Whatever your company thinks is irrelevant to me. If you absolutely refuse to agree to a divorce, I'll hire a lawyer. You can discuss it with them. You shouldn't have the money for that. Do you know how much a lawyer costs? It's not an amount you can afford. Don't worry. I have the gift my parents gave me when we got married. If there's ever a time to use it, it's now. Using it for something like this is ridiculous. You should be using it for me. I've been providing for you all this time. Providing is your duty as a husband and father. As for that money, it was given to me, so how I use it is up to me. Wait, let's be rational. What will happen to our daughter if we divorce? Do you intend to make her a child without a father? That would be cruel. I've already told you, Anna said it would be better to divorce. She said continuing like this would drag me down to hell too. That's ridiculous. How long are you going to believe such childish talk? You didn't believe it, met with your mistress, and fell into hell anyway. Well, being made a guarantor, you were in hell without meeting her. What kind of power do you think those words have? Who knows? But believing might change something. Ridiculous. Deciding to divorce based on a child's words. How foolish can you be? It's not that I decided based on her words alone, but that her words gave me the push I needed. Even so, think about the social repercussions of not having a father. You're always worried about appearances. Appearances don't matter at all. How can you say they don't matter? What people think is most important. Then why did you have an affair? If appearances mattered, you wouldn't have had one. That's why you're being abandoned by your child. After all I've done to provide. If I'm gone, you won't be able to eat. That's not true. I do have a small income. With that little income, what are you going to do? You're naive. Even if you manage to feed yourself, what about our daughter's education? I won't pay child support. Do you think we've been living off just the living expenses you provide? You think her education could be covered by that? Now that she's in elementary school, the expenses are more than you'd think. Right. I don't know what you're doing, but if that much money is going out, your little income won't cover it. That's when Anna asked me to pass the phone to her. I thought about it, then switched the smartphone to speaker mode and placed it in front of her. Dad, it's Anna. Mom has been painting for a long time. She's really good. Painting, huh? You think painting can make money? Listen, Anna. Even if it does make some money, it's only a small amount. No matter how good Mom is, you can't live off that. No, you're wrong, Dad. Mom will become even better and famous if she divorces you. But with you, all that waits is hell. Divorcing you will bring luck our way. What the hell, you little brat? Mom's going to be an amazing artist, so there's nothing to worry about. So, Dad, please divorce Mom. How foolish. So, if that's what you think, Anna, tell Mom to help me out. It's impossible right now. She's not making much. There's not enough to help you out. Just tell her to help me. She really has a lot of money. If she doesn't help me, I'll be in big trouble. Swimming in the Hudson River sounds fun, right? No way it does. Just help me out. I've been providing for you all this time. Since I'm in trouble, you should borrow from somewhere and help me out. We have no intention of helping. All we want is a divorce. We're not getting a divorce. I'll drag you down to hell with me. If I go to hell, Anna goes too, right? Are you okay with that? Yeah, I don't care. If you don't like it, find the money. You are the one having an affair and doing as you pleased, so you should sort it out yourself. I'm not involved. And I won't hand over our daughter to you. I'll be taking her. What? If you had listened to our daughter and avoided meeting your mistress, maybe our future could have been different. Going to that woman's apartment was the beginning of the end for you. Dad, that woman isn't coming back. What? That can't be. Well, she decided to scam you. And there will be scary people coming from about 3 other places. Those with tattoos on their bodies. You mean tattoos? Tattoos? Oh, like the pretty woman painted on someone's back? Yeah, tattoos. If you don't pay, you're going to have a scary time. But it's better not to ask Mom for help. Mom doesn't have money, and if you bother her too much, Grandpa will get angry and catch you. Grandpa's going to catch me because he's angry? What do you mean? Every time Anna went to visit Grandpa, she talked to him about something, didn't she? Maybe about you? Yeah, Grandpa wanted to hear more when I talked about Mom and Dad, so I told him everything I knew. Then he said you should have divorced sooner. So, he said he'd support the divorce as much as needed. That's why you should be careful about bothering Mom too much, or you might get caught. That's ridiculous. My husband seemed to be in shock. After that, he called many times, but I left everything to my lawyer and didn't pick up the phone. It seemed he returned home, but by that time, Anna and I had moved back to my parents, so there was no confrontation. However, just as Anna had said, the mistress never came back, and instead, debt collectors from 3 other places showed up. Having no way out, my husband decided to file for bankruptcy. But escaping wasn't as easy as he'd hoped. Debt collectors that resembled Yakuza kept showing up at his workplace. As a result, seen as associated with antisocial forces, he was fired and lost his source of income. He had no choice but to flee, and now, his whereabouts are unknown. One scary-looking person did come to our house once, but after explaining the situation and that we were divorced, he understood and never came back. One day, Anna said, "Dad's woman, well, she got married to another man far away." I was surprised by the sudden news, but it seemed she had shifted all blame to my husband and found her own happiness. As for me, returning to my parents' home and with their support, I've managed to sustain our lives. My paintings have been recognized recently, and requests have increased. I even received an offer from a major publisher for illustrations, and life has been getting easier, just as Anna said. Once we save a bit more, I plan to rent a house where Anna and I can live together.